All right, guys, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are here with another, or the second, I should say, uh, champion spotlight for the Uncommon Only Run series. And today we're going to be looking at SAURUS. He was actually our first 6-star and our first level 60 on this account. Really, because we're using him as a campaign farmer. You can use other heroes. I know Shield Guard is the one that everyone's looking for. But yeah, Saurus is also very good at being a campaign farmer. We do not have him built perfectly as of right this second. We have a ring, as you can see right here, that has HP on it. We want to get an attack ring on him. And there's a few other things on him that we would love to fix, but we'll go over that so you can show you exactly how you can make him a little bit better. We've been a little bit unlucky when it comes to gear in this run so far. We actually just ran a bunch of dungeons for Dragon and unfortunately did not get anything to make him better. So we're going to just use what we got here just so you can kind of see what we did and why we built him first. All right, so let's take a look at his skills. Basically, he only has 2 skills, all right? And his first hit just attacks all enemies. That's it. He has an A1 that hits everyone. And then guess what? His A2 also hits everyone. So he has 2 AoE attacks, and that is why he's such a good campaign farmer, because he's always going to be doing an AoE attack. His second skill, though, does have a chance of placing a 50% heal reduction debuff for 1 turn, places a 50% heal reduction debuff if the target's current HP is less than or equal to 40%. So he's got a little bit of a cool skill there, good for certain dungeons and things like that. But right now, we're going to take a look at his masteries. We have him built out pretty much like a campaign farmer. He has some skills like this: increased speed for each enemy killed, so that makes him faster. He's also got damage increased inflicted by 8% for the first hit. That's also very good for campaign farming. Increases damage inflicted by 5% for each dead ally. Obviously, you're campaign farming, you're going to have a bunch of food with you, so they're all going to be dead. And then he's got a chance of decreasing the cooldown of random skill by 1 if the damage inflicted by a skill exceeds 30% of the target's max HP. More than likely, that's going to be the thing. Once you get him built correctly, though, you're probably not even going to need any of that because he's just going to be strong enough to kill everything in 1 hit. And then we did Helm Smasher so that he can break through defenses and do a little bit more damage. And then we gave him a little bit of resist and a couple of other small things like this. Decreases the damage received by this champion by 8% when this champion is hit with a critical hit. Just some little things which are good now. You could conceivably change this if you wanted to once he's strong enough to kind of kill everything in Brutal. Most people don't farm in Nightmare, so it's probably not that big of a deal. But there you go. That's his masteries. As far as gear goes, we have him in the lifesteal set, and we have him in your basic, attack build. We have crit rate on his glove, we have attack on his chest, and we have speed on his boot. Unfortunately, we got a defense kick on his little upgrade here for the ascension. For his rings, like I said, right now we have HP on his ring, we have attack on his amulet, and we have attack on his banner. Realistically, we're going to want to try to find a amulet that has crit damage plus. That's going to be the best thing because then we'll get him like another 33% probably crit damage, possibly up to what, 35 or 40 probably. And then getting an attack ring will kind of juice him up a little bit so he can do more damage. Basically, you're just looking for speed, crit, and that's it. I mean, I have some accuracy on him. I don't really care about the HP stuff because the HP heal reduction, because it's not super important to this character. He's really just there to essentially wipe waves, and that's it. He's really good for getting to bosses. He's just not really great against bosses. Let's look at his total stats for right now. Remember, this is the first hero we've built, so that's why he's not going to be perfect. We've got him at 26,000 HP. He's got 3,185 attack. We're probably going to want to get that up to at least 4,000. Defense is 1,200. His speed is 190. He has very low speed for base. He's like an 83, I think it is. So it's really hard to get him up to that 200 mark where you really want him, but that's where we're at. 66% crit rate, just because the gear we have, like I said, is not perfect. We're trying to get him a better glove, which will push his crit rate up there. Crit damage is at 89. Once again, we're going to want to get that into that 120, 150 range at least before we start really being able to do campaign farming easily. Resistance 78, accuracy is at a 70. Once again, first hero, not the best build, but that's where he's at. All right, so let's take a look and see what he's all about. So now, when you put him in the arena, all right, he's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He's actually not terrible. We are in, what is this, Silver 4 right now, pushing towards a Gold 1. And this is an uncommon only account. So we're literally only using uncommons and we're still able to do this. So like you're going to be looking for fights like this, obviously. We'll just do a quick one. But this is my arena team. So we've got Archer, we've got Sniper, and we've got Hungerer. Hungerer is literally there just to have the shield so that we can take the first hit if we're slow. And that's it. We're probably going to end up pulling him out eventually maybe and putting someone else in who can do attack up with the shield set. But that's what we're at right now. And then he goes in, look at that, 12K, the guy's dead. But we're not going to show you that. We want to show you something that's good. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this team, but we're going to go for it. This is a tough one. We have been able to beat some legendary teams. It is possible. It just depends if they have a lot of defense and if they go first, which this team looks like they're either going to be good or bad. So here you go. Boom. He hits everyone, did about 8 something K there. And then you have everybody else coming in. Now, the good news here is that he can constantly do AoEs. So if you have somebody who has like very little HP left, that's a good thing. Now, we also have Hunger who can stun. So we're going to try to stun her because no, didn't work. I was hoping. We were hoping for it, but she revived her. There's 2 revivers in here and 2 healers, so that's going to be tough. And then we can come back in with another AoE on Mr. Boy here. And then you've got the other people here who can kind of kill these guys in one hit. We want to take these 2 out. She already revived someone, so we're going to want to take Syl out first, if possible. So it's going to be a tough one. Hopefully we can... Ooh, look at that. Crit damage up. Not good. So we're going to use the shield now from Hunger. So this is what I'm saying. It's at least a little bit of something. Now, our other attackers can basically do counterattacks, and they also have turn meter boost, which is nice. But SAURUS can always hit everyone. So if you can build him up to do enough damage, say she's about to get her turn, hopefully we can kill her first. Good, we have an AoE, so that's nice. So right now we just want to kill her. So we're going to keep going in to kill the reviver. That's the one that matters. Now we have his heal reduction. There you go. He was able to kill that I forgot his name, Shaman. So that's nice. That guy sucks. This guy. Don't ever use this guy, by the way. He's like his kit, I forgot his name, but his kit is so good, but his damage is so bad. So do not use him. There you go. He's dead. So there you go. We were able to win. Now let's look at the damage. So SAURUS put up 60K, Sniper put up 70, and she's probably the strongest one, I would say. But yeah, if you built him up with, she actually has better gear. So if we built him up with a little bit more attack, he would probably be our number, well, not probably, he would be our #1 damage dealer because he can always hit everyone. Always. Every single round, every single turn, he is AoEing your face down. So can you use him in the arena? Yes, obviously. We're in Silver 4 with using only uncommon heroes, so definitely a fun time. Let's go into the campaign. This is his bread and butter, guys. Like, this is where you're going to use him in Brutal. Mine's going to be a slower run right now. These are the heroes we are slowly leveling. We're going to pull her out. The other good news is you don't even have to set him to AI, so you can literally just click. There's some heroes that basically you would have to like set their AI, which means you have to constantly go into team setup like this in order to use him for campaign farming. I have that same problem on my other account. But this one you don't have to. I can click and click and just switch anybody in I want. So we're going to bring in somebody else who needs to get levels. I mean, we can always just bring some food in. Here, we'll bring him in since we're going to be leveling him anyway. Super rated up, and then boom. Now, once you get him to the point where he can do this, he will be a 7-second farmer. All right. Right now, he's not a 7-second farmer because he misses twice. And they get turns and they kill everyone. So you're going to see that he's going to have to take a couple extra turns. Once you get him a little bit faster too, he may even get 2 turns and be able to do it without being strong enough. And it'll take a little bit less time. See, like that. He got 2 turns in. He's fast enough where everybody's going to get a turn, unfortunately. But he's fast enough to kill them on the first run. There you go. He got the second run. But even by himself, he can kill these guys. He can get attacked by every single person on this in this area and campaign, and he's not going to die at this point. It did take a little bit of time, so don't get discouraged if you do build him. If you guys decide, I know a few people have decided to do an uncommon only run. And it's rough. It is rough in the beginning. Your speed stats are terrible. You only have 2 skills, and you got to kind of figure it out. But yeah, he works really well. You can put him with an attack up hero if you want for dungeons. We're going to do one more run. And yeah, he'll probably do more damage. And what you do is in the beginning of this, when you have him, if you're going to use him as a campaign farmer, is bring him in with other heroes that are strong that you're trying to level. So like the heroes you get to 5-star. get them geared up and bring them in here with him, and that'll help you kind of campaign farm with him in the beginning until you get him to the point where he's like this, where he can handle himself. And we don't even have him built right, and he's still doing it pretty well. All right. Now let's go into some other areas. So basically, there's no dungeon that he's good at. All right. There's not going to be a dungeon where I'm like, yo, he's the one. All right. There is zero dungeons that he is good at. However, that being said, you can use him to help you get through waves. All right. So as you can see, this is a team we used to fight the dragon. We can take her out completely and bring him in. All right. We were just trying to level some heroes and do some stuff. But basically, you just bring these guys in. He's your shielder. All right. You've got poisoners that can do some damage on the boss. And then you've got a damage dealer from Sniper, and you've got SAURUS who can kind of help with the waves. You could conceivably pull one of these guys out if you wanted to. So, like, if we like him better, we can just let him do the poisoning, and then we can bring in Archer. So we have more damage dealers, and then we do a super raid, and then boom. So SAURUS can help you with the waves because he's fast enough right now. He goes first, and they'll auto this pretty quickly. But you have a bunch of AoE damage dealers, but you know at least that he's going to constantly be doing AoE damage every single time. See, boom. At least he gets hits. But this is actually, I think, the weak affinity for him, blue. So we actually chose the kind of the wrong fight to really show him off. You're going to see that Sniper and Archer are going to do way more damage. So imagine on a turn where it's his affinity, he's going to be doing much, 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 much more damage. So you're going to see, right now we're going to see him at the worst affinity. Maybe we'll do another run on another dragon. We'll show you him at his good affinity. We'll see the damage difference between the two. So there you go. He actually hit crit there. So that's good. Remember, his crit rate is not great. It's at the 66%. We want to get it up there somewhere in that, 70, 80 range is probably best. 100 is the best. So it just depends on where you're at and what stage of the game you're in. Basically, you want everybody to be at 100% if you can. And this team can break the shield at level 13. So now this will essentially give you the ability to start farming levels 6-star gear. And that's really all you need in the beginning of the game. Remember, we're only in the second month. All right. We just finished the second month and we got Yaga and fed him. So yeah, we just got into the third month actually. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Remember, we're not rushing this account. You could do this much quicker than I'm doing it. But yeah, it's also because we're very unlucky with gear. Like, we just don't get anything good. I think it'll be funny if we get something amazing this time, because then it'll look like I'm lying and that we get a bunch of gear. I always like to look like a liar when I play games. Look at that. Popping them in the face. Yeah, these two, Archer and Sniper, are really helpful for these fights. But this is why I said that SAURUS is not great for bosses, all right? He's only good for AoE damage. So Spider is a really good spot for him. Maybe we'll just run Spider instead. We'll see the difference with him being in the wrong affinity. It's good enough, right? We don't need to do that. We'll go into Spider just so you can see it. We'll run a stage so you can see how much he helps in an AoE damage situation. There you go. We don't have a designated healer, so let's see what we got here. We got an attack. No, we don't want that. And is this going to have speed? No, it is not. So it's going to be garbage. So there you go. Let's get out of here. So he did 104,000 versus Sniper's 369 and Archer 205. Reason being that they have single target damage that also gets turn meter boost, so they get more turns than SAURUS based on their A1s. So they're going to do way more damage in a boss situation. However, in an AoE situation, he can kind of wreck people's faces. Let's go into the Spider and show you why he's so fun. Now, this fight takes about 2 minutes. This is the team we were using. I brought him in just because he was doing a little bit more damage. He dies quicker. If you're having trouble, then I would say switch him out with Hungerer. Oh, that's right. This is according to the thing. So we're going to leave him in there for right now and just let it run. It'll also be good to see his affinity verse. Now, remember, this is weak affinity again. We're on stage 10. There you go. He's doing 9K twice when he gets crit rates. They do about 17K there. So you're seeing 15. See, the affinity is a big difference here. Boink. We should probably have chosen a better affinity again just to show him off a little better. I don't think about it, because I just go to the level that I know is the best one. But you're going to see that they're going to do some crazy damage, but SAURUS can handle it. It's not a bad deal. He's actually a pretty good tank if you wanted him to be in lifesteal. If you don't want to use Zephyr, you could use him as a tank because he constantly AoEs. It just requires you to give him more defense, which probably isn't the best option. Because If he can't take the hits from the spiders, eventually this will wear out. So he's not the best option for a tank, but he's okay if you need him to be, at least for the early stages. Once you start getting into 15, you're definitely going to want to do someone like Zephyr because they're defense based. So just keep giving them defense. They can survive more hits and give them a ton of resistance. You don't want to really waste those kinds of stats on Saurus, who's attack based. So now you're going to see that. Boom, look at that. Smacking. There goes my boy. I told you he wasn't going to last. This is why you would bring in Hungerer because he has the shield that can kind of keep your guys alive a little bit longer so they get more attacks, but it should be fine. Even when Armiger dies, it'll be fine because he's the wrong affinity, and then they're going to focus target on my boy here, Saurus, once Armiger dies. But he's not doing bad. He's still hitting every single time. He'll crit on like half of them. If he has a bad run, he won't crit on every one of them, just because of the affinity negative that comes up. See, look at that. He got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish, 5 or 6 attacks that were crit versus their crits. This is why 100% crit rate's good. The other good news is that he hits everybody all the time, which kind of helps stop sometimes where you're about to get hit by an attack that's going to heal the spider up. He can kind of come in and just whack them all and kill them before he sucks them up. So that way the boss is only eating 2 spiders instead of 10. You know what I mean? So as long as he's fast enough to get in there, you say, boom, there goes a bunch of different spiders. And now hopefully somebody else gets an AoE attack before the boss goes. Say they're going to attack him and heal. That was the worst timing because he ate like 8 spiders. But now we're at the point where it doesn't matter because he's fast enough where he's going to constantly heal. See? Right back up to max HP. Boom. Bang, bang. It's just going to make the fight longer because we got that big heal. If we got luckier and we got a counter on something, we wouldn't have had that heal be so strong. But it's not that big of a deal. It just makes the fight an extra minute long, which sucks for, sucks for us, but it is what it is. At least you know they win. The other two are just there because they're there. Once we get some level 60s in this team, it's going to be much, much faster, especially when we put some lifesteal onto Outlander, Outrider, right? Outboy. There you go. And Spider is dead. So right at 3 minutes, our best time was 2:18, and that's because we didn't have that issue. But let's look at damage. Look at this. Sniper now did 1.1 million. I'm sorry, 1,011,000. And Saurus did almost 1.1 million. So 1.1093. So this is where he is a much better situation. See, Archer did 621. Outrider did 42,000 and Armiger did 14,000 because they suck right now. They're 50 and they don't really have their gear maxed. So yeah, boom, look at that, 1 million. He now matched Sniper, who is a much, much better built hero at this point. So if he was built correctly and a little bit stronger with his attack, yeah, you could easily be doing like she would drop in damage because he would kill the boss. He would kill it quicker. So you would end up killing those baby spiders even faster, and then he would probably be in like that 1.5 range, and she would probably drop down to like an 800k because he's doing so much damage versus the spiders, which would stop them from doing it. So yeah, definitely Spider is like it's his jam. Like Spider is his jam up until probably, if I had to say it, guess like 15 would probably be where he would start falling off unless you have some really sick gear on him, and you can get his speed up to like 250, 300, then maybe you could use him for that. But I don't know if it would, I don't know how far it will go. We will find out because we're going to be using him more than likely in conjunction with Zephyr. So he's definitely going to be in our spider team probably, but we'll see how far it goes. Definitely really good for anything that requires lots and lots of enemies at once that you have to murder. All right. So yeah, I mean, that's basically him. I mean, he's not a hero that you're going to use for anything other than mainly like once we get into the game, all right, more than likely Saurus is only going to be used for spider, possibly in the early stages, and for campaign farming right now. That's it. That's probably the only things we're really going to use him for once we get, the game moving into the probably 3, 4, 5 months, and we get some better gear on these heroes. Eventually, we're just going to have better heroes for the dungeons that just don't need him. But once we make him stronger, he might be great for helping with the waves. Another option for him, just so you guys know, is you could put him in a stun set if you're going to build maybe a second one, and that would help because he always AoEs. So stun set is a very useful thing for him because then he's going to stun every enemy, at least has the ability to stun every enemy on every turn because he always attacks everybody. So that little bit of stun could be enough to save one of your heroes from getting, one shot from somebody, or having someone get a really crazy skill off that removes something. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff that stun can open up for him. So if I was to build a second one, more than likely that second one would be in a stun set, mainly for Doom Tower and things like that, where you need somebody who can crowd control heroes. He could be that hero. You could just use him for that. Get a shielder like Hungerer that can come in and keep everybody with a shield while he kills everybody so he doesn't die in the waves. Boom, you got yourself a winner. I mean, I'd have to say he's probably one of the best rares. I mean, as you can see, campaign locations 4.9. He's got reasonable ratings everywhere except for Fire Knight because he's just it's funny because he has the heal reduction. But he does hit twice on one skill, but that's it. He doesn't really have much else going for him. You can find much better heroes for Fire Knight, and that's why his rating was so low there, right? So if you guys have any questions, things you want to discuss, things you want to talk about, feel free to leave a comment below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You help the channel grow. We do a live show every single week, and if you want to become a member for $1.99 a month, that will give you access to all of my videos as soon as I post them, and it will give you emojis, and you get one video every week that has no commercials, so you ain't got to watch dumb commercials, right? So it'll be fun. So yeah, this is SAURUS, the dinosaur lizard fungus looking swamp monster. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.